Welcome. Today I'm going to show you a microsite that I built within 4 hours with no code at all. And it creates contents tailored for your niche, tailored for your topic, your tone, your role, and your style. Whether you prefer new style or educational piece of content to your network and add value not only to yourself and to your network, this is what it does. The idea is not to sell this tool, obviously it's not completely finished, but it's trying to share the journey and experience that I got on from knowing completely nothing about AI automations and SaaS, etc. just a month ago, but now I could develop something like this really quickly and help me solve real world problems. So in the next 10 minutes, I will show you step by step how I did it and my thought process. But before I jump into that, a bit about myself. So I'm a civil engineer by background. I'm currently working as an associate director for a civil and structural design consultancy in London and leading this team for the past 2 years delivering complex projects. As you can imagine, I have a very demanding work life, being a very busy professional. Sometimes it's very difficult for me to juggle between delivering the work on a day-to-day basis, but also pushing myself out there to boost my social presence and my professional presence on LinkedIn and leverage LinkedIn and social media. But let's face it, it's very important nowadays, everything happening on LinkedIn for the professional world, and we need to learn how to leverage that. What you're seeing on this is the tool itself. I built this in a tool called Lovable, and it is really, you don't need any coding experience to do that. All you need is tell what the Lovable prompt, how to do it, and if you don't know how to prompt Lovable, so this is a Lovable website, and you basically need to just tell Lovable to say, build me this. And so build me a LinkedIn post generator. And if you don't know how to prompt Lovable, you could just go to ChatGPT and say, provide me with a Lovable prompt to build a LinkedIn post generator. And it will just give you a post that it goes really deep onto how the hero page looks like, which section it should do, and make sure all the content are consistent. You see, it will just it actually tell the Lovable to do role selector, tone selector, style selector, etc. That's where I started. And you could just easily start with this by having like ChatGPT to help you write a very good skeleton, where you could edit it, or you could just copy and paste into it, and Lovable will produce something like this. Where is it? So once it produces this, you can do tiny fixes. You could do, you see, basically, for example, I don't like this one, and I'll just ask question to remove it, edit it. So this just give you a flavor of how it can be done. But this is not a Lovable tutorial. This is just show you the idea. A SaaS like this could be built in seconds. And so once this is built, it just have the front end. It still need to have the back end. What I mean by that is that it needs people to come in and log in and stay consistent with it. You can understand their tone and role, and so doing this tool can do the post for them. And now the meeting here is just do the post. I did already generate a post that I was interested in this morning, and I posted. Let's do something completely different. How AI could help project managers to better understand construction risks. Something like that. And let's do educational. So how the project manager could use AI to manage construction risk. Let's do professional, manager or engineer or consultant. Let's do consultant. So I'll remove this. I'll just add project management, and I'll also add risk management. So I'll toggle on the web search enhancement, and this will make a lot of sense once we go to the backend in a minute. But basically, this will generate posts that with URL deep search of the internet. So you have actual sources of the information you share with the audience, which add a lot of authority. And also extract a photo from those web links rather than generating AI looking photo, which might turn people away. This one will make sure the photo is authentic and is actually part of the URL you are posting. So let's hit post. By the way, I have every time it gives me a different result, so I have never tested this topic. So the post is generated. It does have a URL in here, and let's have a quick read. So draft preview of the LinkedIn post. Could AI be the game changer for construction project risk management? That's a question, it's a hook. And if people are interested in this topic, reading that, they might want to read on. In an industry where delays and safety concerns can cost millions, harnessing artificial intelligence offers new hope. Okay, so I think it's a decent hope. Make people think about the AI's application in their field. So imagine compressing days of complex planning into. I'm not going to read it the whole lot, but basically this is a structure. You have a rehook, basically setting kind of context or scenario to bring people to an imaginary world and a bit of an inspiration, and then it would bring the content of the audio value. With project managers to do some better informed decision. So what AI does, and then once people read here, you could actually click into the URL and goes to a post like this. Go to a URL like this. Human and AI partnership shaping construction future workforce. So yeah, that's really relevant. It's talking about construction. It's talking about the future workforce. And talking about human and AI partnership. So it's everything is quite relevant. And the audience can obviously read on and they can about this post, and somewhere it actually extracted this post, AI tools for construction project management. So this almost like advertisement for them, and I would avoid this, but basically this gives you the idea. It generates content and it also extract a photo. But before you post, you can also edit here. You can edit manually, or you could with AI, you could tell the AI, I want this to be a little bit more, or I wanted this to be a shorter, for example, and you can change that for you. And you can post that directly to your LinkedIn once you sign in and do that, and you can schedule it. So schedule means that every day, if you give a good topic to the tool, it can generate a post every day automatically. But this has not been made available for this too because it's still involving a lot of testing and needing people to log in to preempt their login here. So it's not live yet, but it will be live for my future update if there is a need for it. But I think it already does what it says on the tin, which is creating LinkedIn posts. This is a kind of snippet of my LinkedIn presence. From last 90 days, it has gained over close to 2,000% of in terms of performance. So my content really propelled my profile and being noticed by my network. I started this tool around a month and a half, so around this point. So it really started to propel. And you also need to set a right expectation. Tools like this don't replace what you do on a daily basis. You still do what you do, but it just complement to the gaps and it give you a really good result. Doing that on top of what you already do. But what you should not expect is this replace your with LinkedIn and your audience on LinkedIn. It's definitely not. You do go to an event or you wanted to share a kind of valuable news or milestone, you still do that on LinkedIn and still generate that content. But this means that at the point you wanted to do that, there is probably a much larger audience, followers that can see your content and interact with you. And nowadays it's all about authority, of audience you have to leverage that audience to actual sales. Finally, I show you some of the posts I recently posted. For example, this is a post that generated by the LinkedIn post. You have a URL, a hook, you have a rehook, and then give the value. So this LinkedIn did quite well. A lot of people interacted with it. And because it actually grabbed a very recent government RFI, which is request for information. So for the industry to basically tender for commercial available SaaS digital twin platform for network rail, which is really, really relevant to my network. And they really loved this piece of content. One is because it's so relevant. Two is because it's so recent. And this post was like a week or even just a few days after the one become public known. So I was almost like the first one telling my network, there is such opportunity, let's jump onto it, let's collaborate on it. And that's why there is a lot of attraction on this, a lot of people responding, and there's even a repost by the client side, not real themselves, because the people talking about it and they wanted to influence themselves as well. So this is kind of a very successful one, and the only way I do that is because I do it consistently and it pulls most relevant and most recent news. And this one happened to be very valuable to my network. So that's the front end. In the back end, this is what the back end did. And you can see the post we generated came in, and this run was successful. And you should be able to see if this was the picture. Yes. So this is the post that we generated. And basically what it does, I'm not expecting you to grasp this, but if you wanted to build something like this for yourself, drop me a message, leave a comment, or connect me on LinkedIn, and I will show you exactly step by step how to do it. It costs you very, very little, but it does something very, very powerful. But basically what it does is whatever you input in there will be grabbed by this webhook. You can see the webhook learned from the topic you wanted to do, which is how AI could help project manager to better understand construction risk. It translates this request to, if it is true, meaning that you wanted to generate a picture, so you toggle that kind of web enrichment toggle, and it goes to a node called search, and this is using an API. Don't worry about what API means, but basically it's getting information from another website like Google, like Perplexity, or even ChatGPT, and let them to do something and then get the information back. So basically it uses those requests to do a very deep web search and to get into 3 URLs. Basically what it says here, a news style search, and we'll go do an advanced depth, so it's deep search, and we'll do 3 searches in the past 90 days. So make sure it's relevant and make sure there is good volume of content searched. And this AI agent basically translate those 3 pieces of information using a viral LinkedIn system prompt I put in. And this is quite simple to put together. You just ask GPT to produce a LinkedIn generator system prompt. Basically, what it does here is it will just look at the topic you ask it to look at, the style, the tone, the role, the keywords, and the language, all populated by yourself when you do that input on the website. And then we'll use this structure to produce a LinkedIn post, which is this one. And once this LinkedIn post is generated, it also will study the pictures that extracted from the website, those 3 websites. And then it will rank those 5 pictures to make sure, okay, one is most relevant to my audience. And then we'll just produce that picture, and it will merge those 2 to push it back to the webhook. And that's how you can see here on that post. And then later on you can manage it here. If you use this tool, you don't have to worry about all the backend. You will just do this. But if you wanted to build something yourself in the backend, which is also very straightforward, within that 4 hours, I built everything backend and frontend. Leave a comment below or connect me on LinkedIn. I will share you step by step how to do it. And the benefit of that is that you can go there and modify your own style and your own structure of how the LinkedIn post could be. That's it. I hope you learned something from this video. The idea is really not to know the kind of skills. In essence, it's really, really simple. You sit down with me, almost guarantee you in 30 minutes, you already know the concept of it. The idea is really trying to bridge the gap between an AI could do and could help people. It's almost like hack the system at the moment. I felt like you could implement AI in your day-to-day, like me, a busy professional in the built environment. You don't have to go very, very deep, but you already can make a difference in terms of your productivity and the value you could add to yourself and your network. And I think that was quite valuable experience to me, and that's why I wanted to share it with you. If you think you learned something from this video, please subscribe, like, or comment. It really helped the channel grow and helped me to keep pumping out content like this. Thank you.